Hi guys, welcome to another conversation session. My name is Victoria. How is everyone doing? Hope we've all been well. We've all been good. It's been very tough these past few years, but by the grace of God, we're living, we're moving, it's working. So let's keep pushing. Okay, so I was having a conversation with a friend last night, and I thought that I'll bring it up here so that we can talk about it. So let's get talking. Right, so this person was telling me that she found out through a WhatsApp status post that a person she considers her best friend was getting married, and she was very upset about it. She felt offended. Yeah, she felt offended about it, and she was, telling me about it and was asking me, how do I feel about the situation? And I thought, okay, so let me break it down. This is somebody that she's known for many years. They went to school together. According to her, they're supposed to be more like sisters. They talk to each other about everything. They've done things together. They've always had this idea of being each other's bridesmaid when, eventually they get married, and had plans to do things together. And so she's shocked to find out that this person actually met a guy, dated the guy for God knows how long, got engaged, planned her wedding, and is soon to be married, and did not tell her any of this. So the question is, what do you think, guys? How do you feel about that? If you were this friend of mine, what would be your reaction? Which is where I want us to have a conversation. So I thought of the whole thing, and I thought, to be very honest, that's not nice. I would be hurt as well. I would feel upset as well if it's somebody that I hold in high esteem, i.e., you're somebody that I feel you're my person, I'm your person. We talk to each other about everything. We plan together. We really vibe well. Why would you be doing something as sensitive and as huge as getting married and not at least inform me? I was thinking that's not nice. But then on the other hand, I was thinking that, Victoria, you know what? We are no more children. We're growing up. And one of the processes that is very, very vital that we all need to understand and intentionally build in our life, incorporate into our adult life, is maturity, is being matured in how we handle things, in how we react to things, in how we respond to things. And let me put it this way, one of the characteristics of maturity is normalizing using phrases like my classmates, my course mates, my acquaintance, my work colleague, my neighbor, a stranger I met on the road, or a guy I met at the party. That's fine. Everybody is not, everybody cannot, everybody must not be your friend. Sometimes we're quick to label people and tag people and invite people into our circle. And immediately you begin to label or tag a person as a friend, what tends to happen is unconsciously we begin to have certain expectations of them, and so when they don't deliver on those expectations, we get offended. That's one aspect. The other aspect is also for us to understand that, look, the call of God for our lives is the call to love everyone. God never commanded us to be friends with everybody, because the truth is, not everybody can be your friend. There are certain people that just because of their personalities, they can't be my friend. Doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't make me a bad person. But it's just, we're just two on the other ends that there's no meeting ground. I'm still commanded to love such a person. The other thing as well is, it's okay to love people from afar. Okay, a person must not be in your friendship circle. It can even be that you and this person were really close and used to do things together. Maybe when you were in uni, you were like flatmates. You stayed in the same accommodation, so you spent a lot of time together doing stuff. Now you've graduated, you've both graduated uni, you've moved back to Manchester, they've moved back to London, and so you don't see each other every day. And so maybe you don't talk every day. It's fine to still love them from afar. You're not obliged to necessarily involve them in every single thing you do. So we need to learn to know our place in people's lives. Also let people know their place in your life, and also respect boundaries. I think that if we're able to get the wisdom to balance this out, knowing your place in people's life, respecting that place and position, and respecting your boundaries and people set boundaries, will be fine. It will reduce a lot of offenses. It would reduce a lot of hurts. The other thing as well is this: growing up is quite hard. There's a lot of things that we get overwhelmed by. Work is taking your time and is stressing you. Family is there to think about your personal life. Then relationship or marriage, if you're married, is also dragging you. Ministry, your hobbies. So many things are dragging your time that we all get very overwhelmed, and sometimes we lose control of time. And so learn to be tolerant to people when you don't hear from them every day, when they don't check up on you every day. Myself and my friends, sometimes we can go a week or two without speaking to each other. Sometimes even without sending text messages, but I know that they are thinking of me. I know that it doesn't mean that they're upset with me or they've abandoned me. I understand that, look, they probably are busy, because you know what, sometimes I also get too busy that in my mind I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to call this person and check on them, or I'm going to send this person a text message. I have thought of it. Sometimes somebody will even text you, you've thought in your mind, I'm going to reply, right? And before you know it is 3 days and you're thinking, oh, I said I was going to reply though, I haven't replied. These things happen. So be tolerant towards other people. Understand that everybody has a lot going on right now. We all have things we are dealing with. And so allow time, allow space, give people an opportunity, to be themselves. Give people an opportunity to make the effort to check on you. That being said, let's also learn to be intentional. Guys, I always say this, and it's even worse. As a young lady, it's worse when you meet a guy who claims he's interested in you and is trying to build a relationship with you, and he goes like a week without calling you or texting you. And then when he finally does, and you say to him, it's been a week, I've not heard from you. They go, oh, I've been busy with work. I'm like, what? You're not ready. Because as much as I did say that, be tolerant towards people and understand that everybody is busy, the truth is you have to learn to intentionally make time for those or things that you claim to love or are interested in or care about. Nobody is ever too busy. So if you're a guy or a girl and you're listening to me or you're watching this video and you don't have the time, or you're not prepared to sacrifice, because most times it's going to be a sacrifice, you are not prepared or ready to make the sacrifice, to make time to check on people and be there for people, just know you're not ready for a relationship. Leave somebody's son or daughter alone. Don't stress them. And the other group of people is those that will say, I'm not good with communication. You need deliverance. You're not ready for a relationship, because I don't care how quiet you are. When it gets to relating with somebody, it requires you to go beyond, a certain stage of communication. You have to be available. You have to be ready. You have to be there. And one of it is checking on me checking on you. Me being able to access you without feeling as if I have to go through some protocols to be able to get to you. Now, I'm not trying to dive so much into relationship, but I just thought that I would bring that out. Because in 24 hours, no matter how busy you are, even if you were a surgeon who was working in a hospital and saving lives, you do get a break. You get time to use the toilet, to use the bathroom, you get time to sleep. So in all those times where you get a break, 5 to 10, 15 minutes here and there, make a call, send a person a text message, let them know that even in your busy schedule, you still care. They're still on your mind. You are concerned. You are just busy. But you go a whole week or 2 weeks without talking or checking on somebody you claim you love, somebody you claim you're trying to get to know, somebody you claim you want to marry. I think there's a problem. So let's check that. I don't think that it's right. And for me personally, as a person, no. If a guy approaches me and he says he's interested in me, and I see that he's not willing to make the effort and put in the sacrifice to talk to me as often, I dismiss him. Let me put it that way. But anyway, this is me. Everybody's different. So do what works for you at the end of the day. But going back to what I was trying to say, let's learn to know our place in people's life. Also, let people understand their place in your lives. The thing is this, a lot of us are not very honest and expressive of our emotions and feelings. Hence why I always say I have big respect. I have mad respect for people who, when they are tired and they are done in a relationship, would go to their partners and say, listen, I don't love you anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. I feel like I'm done with this relationship, so let's end it. Truth be told, we all want to love and be loved. So it's not the kind of thing that you want to hear, especially when you genuinely love a person and want to be with them. But I prefer that you tell me that truth to my face and be honest with me. I would hurt, but at least I would know that you know what, you were honest with me. But a lot of people don't do that. Rather, they will begin to frustrate you. They will begin to do things to push you to get to the point where it is you by yourself who will say, I can't take this anymore. Because they don't want to take responsibility for their feelings. And I really think it's unfair. So please, when you're with somebody and you're not feeling them anymore, free them, leave them alone. Just tell them, listen, this is the situation. I don't want to do this anymore, and let them go. Because I may be wrong, but I think that what makes breaking up with people so hard, so painful, and makes it almost impossible for people to get past relationships, it's not so much of the fact that the person cheated on them or the person disrespected them. Sometimes it's the fact that the person wasted their time. You could be dating a guy, and in the first 3 months of the relationship, you see certain signs that show that this guy is immature. This guy is not interested in me. He's just interested in what I have to offer, but he's not really interested in me. And in your mind, you're thinking, well, since he's not come out to break up with me, since he's not come out to say he's not interested in me anymore, which was what I was talking about, that people are not honest about it, you somehow convince yourself to say, you know what, maybe he would change, maybe it will get better. And before you know it, it's 2 years, 3 years into the relationship and nothing has changed. And then you get fed up, and then you have a conversation with him, and then he admits, you know what, I feel like, yeah, this isn't really for me, whatever. And or maybe he cheats on you. And then when you catch him, he gives you the excuse of, it's just because I didn't know how to tell you, I wasn't feeling you anymore, whatever. It's not, at that point, I feel like it's not just the fact that he cheated. That's bad, that's hurtful, that's disrespectful, I agree. But it's the fact that you'd be thinking to yourself, I saw this the first 3 months. If I'd walked away, maybe I wouldn't have wasted that 2 years with him. Maybe within that 2 years I wasted with him, I would have met somebody else, and I probably could have been married now. So you see what I mean? So don't waste your time. When you see certain things, if the person is matured, have a conversation with the person. The truth is, not every... I've come across people who are in their 30s, 35, 40s, who are very immature and very selfish. You cannot even have a conversation with them. With such people, don't bother. When you see the signs, decide for yourself. And if you know that it's not something that you can deal with, walk away. Just go to them and tell them, look, this is not working for me anymore. Thank you, but I'm done, and walk away. And this is exactly what I would do. I'm not telling you do the same thing, but I'm just expressing based on my own experience what I think works for people if you're like me. You know, because I don't know how to play games. A lot of guys like to play games with ladies. And when we were younger, yeah, these things were... okay, you do this and you do that, and it's like you have to read in between the lines. These days, no, I don't need that stress. I don't want it. So tell me as it is, so that I can also make a decision for myself. It's that simple. At the end of the day, everybody will do what they want to do anyway. So don't play games. Don't be here or there. Let me know where I stand in your life. I let you know where you stand in my life. Let's respect each other's boundary and keep it moving. So, yeah, guys, this is what I came to talk about. I'm going to come on a part 2 on this. But for now, seriously, let me know what you think. How would you react if you were this friend of mine? And do you think it's a nice thing to do? Do you think it's fair? Do you think that there may be a reason why she didn't let her know? I would like to hear your opinion on this. Until next time, stay awesome.